When we stare at the global meta-crisis, the scale is often paralyzing. It is hard to find a place to start when focused on massive, abstract storms. But the health of the entire global system begins right here, with a single drop of water on local soil. You don't need to solve every global problem at once. Trying to fix everything leads to the kind of overwhelm that prevents us from doing anything at all. By the end of this video, you will have a concrete roadmap for your own neighborhood, one that turns broad aspirations for the future into specific, manageable work. To build this, grab a pen and the printed Bioregional Action Map workbook or a notepad. We are narrowing our focus to our immediate sphere of influence. Small, consistent steps taken in your own life place eventually ripple outward to influence the larger system. There is no need for perfection here. The goal is to start exactly where you are, with whatever resources and capacity you currently have. Step 1 is identifying your areas of focus. These are the specific trails where you feel most inspired to contribute your time and creative power. This diagram shows 4 primary paths for bioregional work. The first is food systems. This could mean supporting local farmers through a CSA or transforming an empty city lot into a community garden. You might also focus on water conservation, like installing rain barrels, or ecological restoration, such as planting native species to create wildlife corridors in your backyard. Finally, there is community building. This is about fostering systemic trust, perhaps by starting a neighborhood resource sharing group or a mutual aid network. Choose a maximum of 1 to 3 areas. If you try to tackle everything at once, you'll likely find yourself right back at the feeling of paralysis we started with. Narrowing your focus to 3 priorities or fewer ensures that your plan actually leads to implementation. It keeps the work realistic and manageable. Now, we need to turn those broad priorities into precise waypoints. To do this, we use the SMART framework. Specific actions replace vague intentions. Measurable numbers track progress. Achievable goals match your current capacity. Relevant goals align with local ecological needs. Finally, time-bound deadlines create the urgency to move from thinking to doing. This framework is the bridge between an abstract desire to help the environment and the daily behaviors that actually get the work done. Take your pen and pause the video right now. Based on your areas of focus, write down at least 1 SMART goal for each. By committing these steps to paper, you are no longer just learning about bioregionalism. You are creating a roadmap for your participation in it. Welcome back. Look at what you've written. This is a concrete, achievable roadmap for contributing to the well-being of your community. This isn't a rigid document. It is a living plan. Be prepared to adjust your course as you learn, grow, and adapt to the changing needs of your bioregion. To amplify your impact, share this map. Find a local community garden, a tool share, or even just a neighbor, and look for ways to collaborate. Now that the planning is finished, it's time to move into the dirt and execute your first waypoint. Human thriving depends on the health of the biosphere. These local efforts, when connected with the work of others in your region, form the essential web of a more resilient and regenerative future. We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. It reduces us to passengers, waiting like roadkill on the side of a life we no longer control, paralyzed by the headlines, watching for the next wave to break. Yet, when the ship finally cracks, the passenger's role ends, and the adventurer's begins. The very failure of the old world becomes a direct call to a planetary adventure. This is the invitation to step out of the heavy aura of the past and into the absolute power of the present moment. The Lifeboat Mini-Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. As the unsinkable systems fracture, we must stop asking for permission and start acting as co-creators of the cosmos, mapping a new way forward through our own backyards. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. You will commit to 9 concrete actions to be executed over the next 9 days, weeks, or years to build your cosmic legacy. You will then write the 7-generation letter, speaking across time to a resident of your town in the year 2026 to explain the uncommon choices you made today. This legacy is a unified dance, a work of restoration that cannot be built in isolation. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat mini course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written. You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.